Hey, my dreamers, I know it's been a while since we last connected. I just needed to take some rest. My soul, my spirit was really showing me in so many ways that I needed to rest. So I tried my best to adhere to that. Some days I did get my rest, other days I didn't, and I definitely had to pay for it. But I am ready to share what I have been growing through and also how I am applying my learnings and just kind of doing my day to day. My entire career leading up to now, I've always worked in diverse environments. And right now, I am in an environment, a working environment, where I am one of one currently sitting at the table. And during this sometimes uncomfortable experience that I've had these past few months, I've had to really learn how to initiate some tough conversations. And quite honestly, as a Black woman working amongst a lot of white men, that is very scary. So I encountered some fear, a lot of doubt came in. I am pretty proud of how self-aware I can be. I mean, I'm not a perfect person, but I really do my best to try to be self-aware. So one thing I definitely have been working on is reacting emotionally and also like my tone. Like, I am straightforward. It's not that I am confrontational, but I don't have an issue in addressing something, especially when we're in the middle of the confusion, because I don't want to be petty. I don't want to be passive aggressive. I honestly like to move on from things quickly, but I know what I need to work on. So with knowing that information, but also feeling in my soul how important it is to be respected, to, feel like I'm accomplishing something for my career, for me as a woman, for me as a Black woman, there was a lot of things that I wanted to be proud of and stand up for myself about. But then at the same time, I was being very hard on myself, because I'm like, hey, look at what happened the last time you said it like this. And look at this. Like, everybody always says this about you. You are this, you are that. And it was like, it was honestly such a big battle. And I feel like that's why my spirit and my soul is telling me to rest, because when I'm resting, like, everything just stops, all momentum subsides, like, you're just chilling. It's like a very kind of just neutral, and I really had to set those boundaries. So I ended up having these tough conversations, and I had to really work myself up and remember what it is that I feel comfortable with. If nothing else changes, if I'm always going to work with well, I don't want to say that, but if nothing else changes, if my work environment never changes, if I always have to work in this environment of no diversity, just being the only Black woman, what is it that I need to do to be at peace with it? It's like, I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm going to have to succumb at the end of the day. I know that there's a lot of adjustments that Black women are forced, encouraged, talked to about making towards themselves, especially working in an environment where you are sitting at the table amongst white men and you need to hold people accountable. I mean, like, it's a thing that exists. I'm not gonna go like so far deep into it, but if that's never gonna change for me, or it's not gonna change for me during this time, what is it that I need to do to make peace with it? So I needed to speak up and, look them in the eye, let them know what it was that I was experiencing and what my expectations are, set that boundary so that I felt like, I'm doing what I needed to do for myself. And then, that just was enough for me. That was enough for me to stand up for myself. But it was so tough to just initiate those conversations. Like I said, I really learned in that moment about the boundaries, and also really see how I need to be much more kinder to myself. So I am going to really focus on practicing methods of self-kindness. What I really am feeling called to do is get back into journaling and scripting and just writing out the things that I'm grateful for, writing out the things that I find to be fun and funny, and the things that I enjoy, just to bring me back into that feeling of just like vibration and receptiveness to all of the blessings that I want to receive. Because how I was feeling, I definitely was in restriction, and I wasn't really allowing good things to flow to me. There started to be little things happening in my life that showed me I was in alignment, but I was just wrapped up in my mind, and then a lot of the doors started to close because I wasn't right. But it's okay because those doors can open back up again soon. So like I have the faith that everything is happening as it should. I do see the learnings, but yeah, guys, that's really what I was going through. And it was interesting. I felt all of the emotions. I was sad, I cried, I was angry, I was all sweaty, but I am grateful that I allowed myself to feel them, and I don't feel bad anymore about having emotions, and I let them go. I chose not to be that emotion. I just chose to feel it, and I found that I was able to move on from it. I mean, plus it's work. Like I can't be having petty, holding on to these things. It's work, it's business at the end of the day, like I'm here to get this paper. It's not Bianca.com, so it's totally easy to move on. But what have you been up to? How do you handle these type of things of setting boundaries and keeping boundaries and having tough conversations? Are you the only woman in your company or on your team? Are you the only woman of color on your team? Please let me know how it is that you deal with these things. What do you do? Give me some advice. Give me some tips. Like I said, I am the only woman there, so I need that feminine connection. I look forward to connecting with you soon, and I hope you have an amazing day.